Good morning. I thought today we'd talk a little bit about improvisation, sort of a free-range chicken improvisation. It's sort of a lighter element of what we've been working on. By the way, if you hear some clanking, our hot water heater has turned belligerent, and we have plumbers downstairs replacing it. At any rate, so what we're going to do is we're talking about a couple different types of improvisation. But first we're going to just take a chord pattern and see what we come up with. Let's do something a little less elementary. We're going to do something in C sharp minor. And we're going to make it 3/4 time. Sort of a little waltz type of thing. Okay, so we're going to start with our bass and our chords. So we're going to start with a C sharp minor chord. And we're going to put it in. So we have a C sharp and E sharp. No, you don't need that because of the signature. And we'll put the G sharp down here. Our C sharp minor chord is C sharp, E, G sharp. Now we're going to repeat that. So we get that. All right. So let's rehearse that. We're going to go from our bass C sharp to our second inversion triad. Now let's do something a little sort of unusual. Instead of going to the 5 chord, we're going to go to the 2 chord, 2/7 chord to be exact. So we're going to have a D sharp in the bass. Then we're going to come up and have a root position, D sharp 7. So we're going to have an A sharp added in. Okay. So our D sharp 7 chord, and this is just a regular flat out D sharp 7. It's going to be D sharp, F double sharp, A sharp, C sharp. Good. All right, so I hope everyone remembers that a double sharp has marked with an X. So if we had an F sharp, double sharp in here, it would look like something like that. But we don't, not yet at any rate. All right, so we've got 2 measures. We're going to do a 4-measure stretch here. Let's do the correct thing. And we're going to go to a G sharp chord. In this case, just a flat out G sharp, second inversion. So we're going to have a D sharp in the bass, a G sharp in the middle, and a B sharp on top. Because our G sharp 7 chord is G sharp. What am I doing? sharp, B sharp, D sharp. So put another one of those in. And then we'll behave ourselves and go back to a C sharp chord. But just to spice it up a little bit, we'll put in a suspension. Resolving to the tonic. And our C sharp chord is the same as we've noted here. Once again, it's the second version. All right, so now most people who are just new to improvising want to throw in everything, including the kitchen sink. So they'll do something like, I'm doing this with a pencil in my hand and a tripod. Let's try that. I can play the piano. This is not working. Let me focus. I'm trying to do something that I don't normally do. Something like that. So that was totally on the fly. But let's do something a little tricky again. We're going to put in an upbeat. It's a little G sharp. Now let's do something like this. Let's see. Okay, so what did we do? We did C, we went to a long E here. That should be a quarter note. Went up to the fourth, came down. Now we have the D sharp, which is the tonic, but it's also the five of the let's try again. Are going to have a half note there. We're going to repeat the D sharp. And again. That should be a half note. Then we're going to have an E going to a B sharp. And back to our C sharp. And then we're going to do the pickup again so we can either repeat that phrase or do a variation on it. So here's what we've got slowly. So why don't you stop the video at this point and take the little pattern, write it down, and see what you come up with. We'll work on this in the session too. So there you go. So does this sound at all familiar to you? If it does, you probably remember a little waltz by Chopin in C sharp minor. And like, if you haven't shut the video off and done this, do it now, because I'll give you a few minutes. All right, this is what Chopin decided to do with that. If this tripod, I have to figure out something else to do. Ta-da! There we go. Very slowly. There. So, that was a little bit of a joke, but what the? Some other things you can do with improvisation are just free range improvisation. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's see if we can get hands in here. In free range improvisation can be anything from a simple folk type thing, and this is totally off the top of my head. Something like that, to something very avant-garde. But here's something we can also try that we can have a lot of fun with, and you can't really make a mistake. We're going to do an improvisation in the Dorian mode. The Dorian mode are all the white keys between D and D. Comes from the old church modes, which were a stab in the dark, trying to recreate the ancient Greek modes. There's no relationship between the two. But we retain two of the modes from the early church, and those modes were the Ionian, the Dorian, the Phrygian, the Lydian, and the Mixolydian. I'll do it down here. Then there was the Aeolian and the Locrian. Okay. Of those 7 modes, only 2 have been retained in common usage. The Ionian, which gives us our major scale, step, step, half step, 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 half step, and our Aeolian mode, which gives us the natural minor, step, half step, 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 half step, 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 step. Half step was in the step on the end. I'm sort of doing these things off the cuff, so if any blathering is not in the script. Okay, so we're going to look at a Dorian mode. And so if I do just a fifth in the bass, D and A, or even an octave, D, A, D, I can do it. That was completely off the top of my head. There was no planning involved in that at all. And you can get pretty wild. that's a little bit on improvisation today. Have some fun with it, and we'll discuss it more at your sessions.